Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the food preservation method of pickling. Pickling works in two ways to preserve food, through the use of the acid and through fermentation. An acid that is really commonly used is vinegar, and vinegar works because it really helps keep the microorganisms at bay, which means they're not going to multiply and grow, which is going to contaminate the food. And then as the food, whether it be vegetables or something else, sits in the acid, it's going to start to ferment, which is going to change the texture, color, and the taste of the food. And it's also going to make it last a lot longer. Now, like I said, vinegar is a common acid that is used, and when you put the acid in with the vegetables, the acid that is usually created over time is lactic acid. Now today I'm going to be pickling cucumbers, which is really common. Most people think when they think of pickled foods, they think of cucumbers. But you can also pickle beets, green tomatoes, beans, and cauliflower. Okay, so the first step in pickling, we're going to make the brine, which is the juice or the acid for the pickles. So I'm going to start with 2 cups of this distilled vinegar right here. I'm just going to go into this pot. Then I'm going to do equal parts water. So I'm going to come over here and grab 2 cups of water. And then with the water and the vinegar, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of salt. And then we're going to just use some black pepper and just kind of season to however much you want. Some people like more or less. I like a pretty good amount, so I'm going to put some black pepper in there. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put it on the stove and bring it to a rolling boil. Okay, so now I'm going to make the pickles. I got 2 mason jars that I've already sterilized. I got some dill right here and some garlic cloves that I have already peeled. So I got about 1.5 will fill 2 of these jars. So I'm just going to cut the ends off of this cucumber, and then I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to do spears, so I'm going to cut in half, and then I'm going to put these into 3 pieces. Just going to make some pickle spears here. Okay, I got all those cut up. Now what I'm going to do to kind of flavor this a little bit, I got 4 cloves of garlic right here, so I'm going to put 2 cloves in the bottom of each of these 2 mason jars. And I'm going to get my dill right here, this fresh dill. I'm going to take 2 leaves, just cut the stems off, and then drop 2 of those in the bottom of each of these jars. I'll give it that dill pickle flavor. Okay, then I'm just going to fill the jars with these spears. I'm going to pack it kind of tight, but not overly tight, because you still want to be able to get a good amount of the acid in there. I already washed these cucumbers before I put them in here, because a lot of them got coating on the outside, so I got that off there. And the skin, you can leave the skin on there because it gives it that really nice crunch on the pickle once it's been fermented. So I'm just going to put equal amount of spears in each one of these. Fit one more in there. Tight. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to get just a little extra. I'm going to get 2 more leaves of this dill. I'm just going to put a leaf of dill on the top of each one. All right, my brine is on the stove over here and it's at a boil. I'm gonna bring this over here, and all you're gonna do is just dump this, really strong smell, directly into your pickle jars to about 1/2 inch of the top. That should do it. Okay. Okay, and then you're just gonna get your tops here for your mason jars. Careful, these jars are gonna be really hot. And you're gonna seal those nice and tight. And now you can do two things from here, and all it really does is gonna be for shelf life. You can take these jars and you can actually boil them in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes, which is gonna increase the shelf life, and you can actually store these outside of the fridge, or you can just stick these directly into the fridge, which is what I'm gonna do. And you can, as long as they're stored in the fridge, they'll last for a while. And that's, boiling the jars essentially is just to improve the shelf life of afterwards. And yeah, that's it. That's how you make pickles.